Do you wish you were taller, hoping that it would make you a better attacker in beach volleyball? What if I told you that there are secrets and keys that could make you a dominant attacker, no matter how tall or short you are?
Today, we're going to show you everything there is to know, trying to dominate in the land of giants. We're going to go over hitting, spacing, and all of your best shot options, even if you are not a monster. Let's get into it. Welcome to Better at Beach. I've got, 17-time champion for 2025, Marine Kenna, Brandon Joyner, who is in her player's box, who's in her box on a regular basis. My buddy Tomer, who runs a show down here in Hermosa for us, an Israeli national team, and me, Mark Burrick, who is playing in a qualifier coming up. We are going to show you the best and most effective ways to attack the ball, from spacing, from vision, your shot selection, even if you are a shorter player. So if you are under 6 foot, like, follow, subscribe. We are going to give you all the tips you need to know to crush it, like Marine.
So first thing, as a shorter player, one of the most important skills that you need to get better at is where are you shot? Where are the location that your shot should land to, but also what is your shot supposed to look like, okay? Obviously, when you're playing against someone and you're hitting, you don't want to hit straight at the defender. The goal is to make the defender moves, okay? And the only way to do that is, or you have to go to a really short shot or a really high shot where it goes over the defender, okay? So from there, I like to talk about the perimeter of the court. Imagine that inside the line, there is another invisible line, and from there, if you're able to put the shots in that perimeter of the court, I assure you, 90% of the time, you're gonna score. So right now, as you see, I'm hitting from the right side. I have my blocker in front of me that is gonna jump for my line. Okay, so from here, I can see that my high line is open. In that perimeter here, my cut is open. I can go deep middle, that is open, and I can go jumbo over mark. The thing that you don't want to do is hit right in the angle. We're shorter. Right now, this is a men's net. I probably cannot hit straight down without mark touching it and without taping. Okay, so why would I put myself in a position where I will get dug when I can just score so much easier? If Tomer would get to pull, okay, now I add my short shots in front of the puller are gonna be open. So I have the short poke, I have the short middle, I still have the cut. I can still go for the deep middle swing. That's a really good swing when two defenders are down. Or I can try to go over Tomer with a high line. Third option, if both of your defenders are down. It's a little more similar than if the blocker would get to pull, but he's in a better starting position. So I would recommend going for short shots. So from here, you can go same thing, short poke, short middle, cuts are always open. If you're playing on the left side, you have the exact same option open from the left side or the right side based on what the defensive is doing. If they're both down, you still have your short shots. Your line in the perimeters are always open. Okay, if there was a blocker up, it's still the same thing. I'll add my high line over the block. I have my swing middle, I have my jumbo over Tomer, I have my cut, and I always have the short poke. If Mark will get to pull, I'm gonna beat him real fast by hitting fast, or I can try to drop it short. If you pull and you see that the puller is still moving while you're hitting, drop a short shot, it's always gonna work because they're in movement and they're never gonna be able to move back forward.
Next, we wanna talk about where you wanna hit from. If you take a look at World Tour and AVP statistics, the most successful side-out percentages, the higher side-out percentages across the board are from zone 4, which is just about 6 feet inside the antenna, and zone 2, about 6 feet from the other antenna. Okay? That gives us lots of options for different angles. So from here, I can hit a sharp diagonal ball that does not cross Marine's body. Now, If I'm trying to hit high, hard, deep, it's gonna cross her body, it's gonna hit her in the hands, the chest, and she's gonna have a good chance to dig that, okay? But even if Brandon were up, hitting from this zone gives me a lot of options, and the way the angles work out, I don't have to hit the ball as down as I would from the middle. So here's the key and why hitting out of the middle isn't always a great idea, but can be sometimes. In order to hit this ball hard, it's pretty easy for me to put pace on it from the outside of the court where I can snap and access that angle. But if I'm in the middle, for me to hit outside Marine's body, that ball has to be so steep in order to be fast and get to the ground quick. And if I'm a shorter player, I probably can't hit a ball that steep and that hard. So if Brandon's back, same thing on the other side. When I'm right here in the middle, in order to hit outside his body and in with a downward or a flat angle, I need to be so high above the net just to do that. If I'm out here on the left side, now I can still add some pace. Yes, it gives him a little bit extra time, but that's okay because I can have him moving, I can have him running. So this is why most pros are hitting out of zones 2 and zones 4, the wide part of the court, instead of the middle part of the court, okay? Because I've got a lot of angles here, like Marine said, I can lay the shortcut in front of them, confusing the defense. I can put more pace and hit the ball flatter or more downward if I'm over here. When I'm stuck inside the middle of the court, now I have to have super sharp angles. So now my best point of attack would be this flat middle. That's probably the hardest ball that I could hit. So if you are a smaller player and you do get stuck in the middle and you do want to hit hard, if you're in the middle, access the direct middle of the court so that the ball crosses without either of them touching it. Here's a little cheat code that I don't want to give away, but I'm not competing anymore, so it doesn't really matter. When you are hitting out of the middle, if there's a blocker up, most of them have the instinct, or they think they have the responsibility to block either line or cross. So when I go up to hit, Brandon's gonna think, I have to protect the left side of the court because that's my responsibility. If I hit direct middle, he's probably going to jump out of the way because he's protecting his line. Same thing if he were thinking that he needed to protect my cross or on my left side, he would want to dive out there because he thinks he has to block that side of the court. So if I just kind of bank on hitting this pace ball middle, Marine doesn't want to get stuck in the middle because that's not where we want to play defense. And Brandon knows that he has to protect the line or the cross. And when we get to the elite level, you will see a lot of blockers who know this. So they're trying to trump that knowledge. And so you'll see a lot of blockers at the AVP or the FIVB level from the middle. They will go into this big wide block because then they can try to take 2 zones at once. So Brandon would jump outside, protecting with those long arms, both my angle and my line. That's an elite level block. But you know what's cool about that? My middle shot still works. So this is one of those cases where when I'm competing and I get stuck in the middle, I bank on hitting straight middle, so I'll hit through his hands. The only time that he's gonna block that is if he commits really small into the middle. And if I know that he does that after one time getting blocked, then I can start accessing the corners. So that's a really good cheat code. If you get in the middle and you're attacking, you can pretty much blindly bank on that middle of the court being open if you hit it flat and fast. Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying this video so far. Just so you know, we've got an entire online library and a members community where you can submit your videos. We will watch them, we will give you the critique, and we will lead you through an entire year of training for beach volleyball that includes drills, tutorials, and what you should be doing week in and week out. We also have a collection of workout programs strictly designed for volleyball players. So if you head on one of the links below, you'll be able to find those. Lastly, if you ever want to join us for a training camp, we run them all over the country and internationally. So head to betteratbeach.com/camps, and you could join us for a 3-day or a 7-day training camp where all we do is play volleyball and get better. And please, if you've enjoyed this video, go ahead and send it a like and give us a subscribe. We are trying to get to 100,000 subscribers before September. So hit that subscribe button, help us out, and help us make more videos.
If you're a short player, why are we asking for tight sets? One of the biggest things that causes trouble for shorter players is that they ask for this set to be super tight to the net. And the only problem with that is that if I'm short and I'm all the way at the net, this net height is super intimidating to me. So every swing that I'm gonna have, it has to be up in the air because I have to clear this monster of a net. But if I take a couple steps backwards and I'm this far off the net, that net isn't as intimidating. So now I can start to hit the ball a little bit flatter, and I have more of the court available to me with all those shots that Marine talked about earlier. Okay, so along with your spots that you're trying to hit and the locations that you're going to be hitting from, it's important for you to find your distance from the net. So one thing that we commonly say with Better at Beach is that everybody should be starting their approach from about halfway in the court. Okay, you can play around with this. Some of you might be a step in front, some of you might be a step behind. But if I do my full approach, if I have long legs and I make my approach, then when I go to hit, I find myself at this really good distance of 3 to 5 feet from the net. If I'm a shorter player, then I should be hitting from maybe 4 to 6 feet from the net. So I know one of the things that we talk about is that when I'm a shorter player, I need to start closer to the net because I can't cover that much ground. That's not the answer. The answer is you should be starting at the same spot as tall players because you're going to be hitting a set further from the net. So if I have shorter steps or shorter legs and I go through that approach and I go my right, left, I'm still able to cover a very good distance. Now I have an optimal distance from the net to go through my swing. And also the biggest thing that this creates is now I can see the court in front of me. So I can see the net, I can see the blocker, I can see the defender on the other side of the net. I can see if that blocker pulls late or runs forward quickly. So make sure that you're starting far enough off the net so that your approach leaves you 4 to 6 feet from the net for your attack. If you're a shorter player and you keep asking for tight sets, I promise you are messing with your offensive efficiency. So be okay with hitting off the net so that you have more locations to hit from.
So we covered where we want to hit from. We covered where we want to hit to. We covered what's the spacing for the set. So now we're going to talk a little bit about the timing. So as a short player, especially as an amateur, I really recommend going for a little bit of a shorter set. Yes, it does require good ball control. If we don't get our pass and set right, it's going to be really tough to get to a good position. But if we go here to the net and I'm getting a fast set, I have a really big advantage. What is that advantage? Time. Imagine this is the height of my set. So now on the other side, when I have a blocker, if they want to pull, they have all the time in the world to pull, get ready, get stable, and maybe dig me. But if instead of that, I'm gonna toss, and this is gonna be the height of my set, maybe a little bit higher, something like that, okay? Now, when the blocker is trying to pull, when I'm gonna hit, he's still gonna be moving. The defense, when they're trying to set up, they might still be moving. So when I go for a shorter set, I change the timing of the game. That's probably one of the biggest keys you can use for attacking as a shorter player. So we spoke about faster sets. Faster sets means defense is not getting ready yet. But it's not only the set, it's also the movement of our shoulder and our legs. So a lot of the times we speak, right? We want to do our elbow, get a nice full movement, but at the same time, it takes a lot of time for us, okay? And sometimes we don't want to spend that time. So we can get some speed by using the full movement, but at the same time, I can get the same exact speed using only my wrist to guide the ball. Okay, so a lot of the times Me as a shoulder player, I see if the blocker is putting out there. I will not draw my elbow all the way back. I will finish a little bit shoulder and I will go quick with my wrist. This way, I change the timing of the game, okay? I make the play end earlier than what they expected. This gives me like a small advantage, like I might catch the blocker while he's still putting, I might catch the defender while he's still moving. And then if I chose the right shot, if I had the ball in front of me, and if I'm going to the right spot, I have a really good chance of killing the ball. So, to sum up, once we have the ball in front of us, it's a low set, I can catch the other team while they're still moving, and I can go fast with my wrist. Now I can choose the location, finish with the ball fast, make the play faster, and get easy kills as a shoulder player.
Most important about all of this is that you know your offense and you know what you're good at, and you establish your best shots. Most athletes, even at the elite level, have 2 excellent shots and then just a bunch of good ones. So if your shot chart, if the places that you hit on the court are kind of equally spread out, that's an indicator that you don't really know what offense you're establishing. If you're really good at a cut shot and you've got a nice touch, you rarely miss it, and you get a lot of kills, you should be going for a lot more cut shots. Same thing, if you're a high line player and you have a really great high line like Billy Allen, just high line all day until they dig it. You shouldn't vary your offense just to vary it. You should continue to attack the things that work for you. So find what you're best at and come into the game knowing that you are going to exploit that. Right? Steph Curry is not under the boards grabbing rebounds and trying to get dunks. Shaquille O'Neal, when he was playing, wasn't out there shooting three-pointers. They both knew what they were good at, and their teams designed an offense based on their strengths. And that's what you should be doing too. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. We have a few more attacking videos that we're gonna link here if you want to continue watching. And if you wanna join us at a camp, become a member of our online community and get coaching from us, head to the links underneath the video. We will be happy to see you and help you out and do anything we can to improve your beach volleyball game as a player and as a coach.